Helps if I unmute that. There we go. Like 80 jumps or so, 79 jumps. It'll be 80 because we'll do one more once we've done all this.
Shift drive charging.
It's mostly just going to be jump, scoop, scan, and move on. We're not going to find many unexplored systems on this leg of the trip. Maybe one or two in the early part, but the chances of finding explored systems are going to dramatically drop the further we travel today.
Shift drive charging.
any Earthlights or Water World, we'll have a look at those.
Fuel scooping complete.
But other than that, nah.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, pretty much all explored around here. And we're also, we're above the plane of it, but we're going to be passing over the Witchhead Nebula, Barnard's Loop, areas that are going to be pretty thoroughly explored, because people are going to be looking for Thargoid systems. We are kind of, I don't think we're going to go through Thargoid space, but we're going to kind of go over it. Which is, you could go over something in space.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Barnard's Loop. Can't really see it because that star's glaring out, but there's Barnard's Loop. So is that a star orbiting a star, orbiting a star, orbiting a star? That's orbiting that, they are orbiting that, and they are all orbiting that. Crazy.
Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scoping. Fuel scoping complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Twin wall work, you lucky bastard. I didn't see that at all on my journey.
System scan complete.
Terraformables as well. Job, but just purpose I like it.
Surface scan complete.
Obviously first discovery and first map is a bonus, but it's still decent money for a couple of terraformable water worlds.
By 50%. Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
So yeah, we've easily earned enough to get elite. I need like 100 million in exploration data to get elite, I think. So I'll double check on that. Yeah, about 100 million. But anything above that is money that I'm going to be making great use of. Don't know if we'll earn enough to buy an Anaconda, but we could live in hope. We will be going to Shinrarta Dezhra to get it. That's what this is all about. Get that elite status, get access to that system. And then hopefully have enough for a big ship. I'm sorry, what? Not you. You? Oh, terraformable rocky body. Okay, yeah, they're not really worth much, but...
drive charging.
Mapped anything, maybe some stuff worth mapping. Okay, we've done 17 jumps. Water world again. Jesus, water worlds everywhere. Haven't been mapped either. Another bunch of high metal gunting worlds. Where were these systems when I was out in the black, going into unexplored space? Damn. Seems like 4 water worlds in the last 3 systems. Why was all that shit out in the black? Terraform wall. That's the water world, really. None of them are terraformable, but we'll go. Say hello to this one. Put the game music back on. I had it off whilst I was playing last night. The plan was to carry on the journey last night until I found an Earth-like world and then plot a route back to the bubble. And I found one pretty quickly, to be fair. And I did sort of 30 or 40 jumps because it was like 120 jumps to the bubble from where I was.
Frameshift drive charging.
Wait. You have mapped this planet. Okay. It just didn't say surface scan complete. Must have said it as I went into my menus or something. I should point out the pause in the game doesn't actually pause the game. Your ship is still moving in the background.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
I should map all these systems, to be fair. Not map them, but do an FSS. Like I say, to just maximise the money that I get when I arrive. I don't know how much I'm going to get. I know I've easily got enough to get the 100 million I need to unlock elite status. Like easily. I just don't know how much beyond that we have. So one's going to be around here. Let me find one. There you are. One and 1A. And then 3 and then 5. And back here we had a bunch, didn't we? Get to you. You 4, 3, we've got 5, we go around. Do you. Go B. 3, 2.
System scan complete.
Don't think any of those were terraformable, too small.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, excuse me.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, interesting.
Fuel scooping
I guess.
complete.
Oh, you mapped them, but you didn't do anything beyond the. Okay. You mapped those two, but you didn't do anything else. So what else is here? I see, I get it. I just went for the high value ones and left everything else. And generally, if I FSS a system, if there's high metal content worlds, I'll do the whole system. And the only ones I skip are when I look in the FSS and there's just nothing worth scanning in the first place. So I'm going to assume those two that were scanned are terraformable. You are going to be closer to the star. No?
System scan complete.
Assume those two are terraformable. That one is. scan
System scan
complete.
Fuel scooping.
So,
Fuel scooping complete.
like I say, the further on this journey we go, the less.
Frameshift
I mean, the
drive
chances of me
charging.
finding a unexplored system are dwindling like rapidly with every jump I do. When we started this leg of the trip, within 4,000 light years of my destination, let alone the bubble, probably like 2,500 light years outside of the bubble. So, yeah, not really likely to get much in the way of unexplored systems. But we'll still scan the relevant planets.
Fuel scooping.
I can get like up to 1 million each for these ones that I'm targeting,
Fuel scooping complete.
and even occasionally get the first map. Which are the 3 targets. Get like half of what I'd get for a first discovery, but still, half of 2 million is 1 million. So, all right, let's get the system scan. There's not a lot actually, surprisingly. Something else there? No? Okay. Oh, might be a bit close to the star. You were 1, you were 3. 2's going to be on this line. You might be 2, you might be 4. 2. 2A. Oh, you must be the... No. Just a long way out. And the gas giant, which might not be on the plane that the rest are. It might be doing its own thing. It is in fact doing its own thing. They do that sometimes, gas giants. They're like, well, follow the path that all the other planets are going. No. I'm a free spirit. I'll go where I want. There you are.
System scan complete.
All the others are going around that way, and this guy's like, nah. I do not consent. Yes, I'm going the other way. Yeah, I thought you'd be terraformable somehow. And you? You're an icy body. Okay, so 2 and 3. So a couple of million. Added on to what we get when we arrive. Like, I'll probably have enough to buy an anaconda, and maybe even a couple of modules for it. I won't have enough to buy and A-rate an anaconda. That's going to cost me $500 million more, 750 million. Depending on the hull, you could probably push that up to $1 billion. Close, maybe not. We will be getting a discount where we're going, but nonetheless, is it going to be expensive? I'd normally focus on just making more money and then maybe work on the Federation or Empire rank and get a cutter or a Corvette, but on this save we're planning on getting all 3, let's be honest, so why not? Get the Anaconda first. The Anaconda I can use to mine to make ridiculous money to buy the Corvette and the cutter. In fact, it behooved me to buy the cutter first because the cutter is a fantastic combat ship, with some of the strongest shields, well, with the strongest shields in the game. But also doubles as a really good mining ship, simply because it has the highest cargo space available to me on console. I don't know about any of the new ships. Two and it was just 2 and 3, wasn't it? It wasn't 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, it was just 2 and 3.
Surface scan complete.
So, if you're wondering why I'm lined up like this, if you look in between the I and G in Enigma, you can see the star, the planet I'm aiming to, and this other planet in front of me on the radar. As I move forward, the star will go over the top of me, and then once it's passed over the top of me, here it comes, it's coming now, slowly, it'll speed up. As it goes over the top of me, that's when I'll start pulling up and aiming towards the planet. The simple reason being, I'm being slowed down by the gravity well of the star, and then I'm going to be slowed down by the gravity well of this little planet. But now that the star has passed me, I can start angling myself. It's telling me to slow down because of that planet. No biggie. But now the star isn't affecting me, or it's not affecting me as much. If I'd have flown a straight line and gone, you know, not like dangerously close or anything, but relatively close to the star, the loss of speed would have been immense. But I don't know, let me see. I think 300 or 400 million. I don't want to say that and then get like 250 million or something, but well, let's say 300 million or so. I reckon I could be way off. I may get less than that, I may get more than that. We'll see. We got what, 50 jumps? 55 jumps. 7, roughly an hour for jumps and scoops, plus whatever time for scanning
Frameshift drive charging.
planets. Obviously there's going to be plenty of systems that has nothing worth scanning, but as I say, let's just chuck on a couple of million here and there to the total. Sounded weird when it launched, didn't sound like it normally sounded. process, but I'm not going over there. I also want to have a look. Utots. That rings a bell.
Frameshift drive charging.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. That's like world? No. Might have actually been worth going over there, even if it is like a 100 and shitload of 1,000 LS away, but knowing that it is in fact not an Earth-like world, no. Sea covered. 5 and A3, A4 will be around it.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Scooping complete.
So this is a system with quite a lot of bodies, like 30 bodies, but there is one that is actually of any value. It might even be terraformable. In that situation, I might as well just go straight to that planet. If it's not terraformable, a few $100 grand. 100 grand, 150 grand, something like that.
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete. Frame shift drive charging.
I've definitely been in this region of space before. I mean, like I say, there is a non-zero chance that I could land in a system that I have previously explored. It's pretty damn unlikely, but it's possible, you know. Crazy. Like, Altots, I've definitely been in this region before. I recognise that name.
Scooping complete.
Okay, so everything else is on this line.
System scan complete.
Must be 6 and 7. Hey Pete. Oh, I'm jealous. Caspian Explorer. can get that luxury over here, unfortunately. We've had a successful exploration trip this week. We're up to 5 first discovery Earth-like worlds. Maybe a dozen or 2 water worlds, and Jesus, shitloads of terraformable worlds. 50, 100, I don't know.
Surface scan by 50%.
Barnard's Loop, looking good.
Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Let's ship forward again. I'll take some ibuprofen in a minute, my shoulder's tensing up. Oh, Jesus.
4, 3, 2.
So we're aiming to get back to the bubble, hit exploration on Elite, and then head over to Shinrarta Dezhra and move in. Get all my ships and modules over there.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
God, you're a big one.
System scan complete.
Bet my bottom dollar that is not terraformable. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, we're running out of. We're going to a. I guess we're crossing arms. Are we crossing arms right now? Yeah, we're kind of crossing arms. Yeah. Yeah, thought it was a bit bad. There's all my Earth likes, all bookmarked. So I just noticed there wasn't many stars listed in the nav panel.
Frameshift drive charging.
Or the Crate Phantom. I mean, the Asp is great. You know, it's a great all-round ship. So yeah, like I think it was the 13th of February. I wiped my save, my triple elite billionaire with a Corvette cutter and loads of other ships save. Started afresh. I bought a Viper Mark 3 or 4, no 3, like as soon as I could. Use that to raise the money to buy this, and then use this to do some combat and exploration and mining to buy a Crate Mark 2 for combat, which we have used quite successfully in some Has-Reses now. And then the next step is Anaconda, and then work on Imperial and Federal ranks to get a cutter and a Corvette. obviously money's a bit harder to make on console. Yeah, I've always loved. I mean, the thing is, you know, the asp is that ships that were in the game that I played back in the 90s, Frontier Elite 2, those I have an affinity with. That's why I'm really jealous that you guys have a Kestrel, because goddamn, I loved the Kestrel in Frontier Elite. That was my favourite ship. I remember one time I had my Kestrel, which is like a little in Frontier Elite 2. It's a small, nimble, military grade fighter. So it's like an Imperial Eagle, but it has like a military drive and all this kind of stuff. And in Frontier Elite 2, there was this bug, hack, I don't know what you would call it. You would pick up like 1 ton of radioactive waste, head out into space, and then click just underneath the jettison button, and it would jettison a ton, but you would still have a ton. So it'd be like, oh, you must have 1 more ton of cargo space. And you do that like 50 or 100 times, and then you get a little Kestrel and you put like a large plasma accelerator on the front of it. Like the ship weighs like 30 tons, and I'm putting like a 900 ton gun on the front of it. Good shit. Put in like the biggest jump range. I could jump like 1,000 light years every jump. Had insane shields. Imagine that. Imagine if there was a way. I mean, it would be broken, but imagine if you could get an Imperial Eagle and put a huge plasma accelerator on it, an 8A power plant, an 8A shield generator, a 7A frame shift drive, and 7A thrusters on an Imperial Eagle. Picture that in your head and imagine flying that fucker around. Oh, the good old days. Absolutely absurd. Then we had the Puma Clipper and then the Panther Clipper, which looks nothing like an Imperial Clipper. Very different to Clippers then. Was that really 3 systems? Oh, wow, I might as well scan it whilst I'm here. Where are you? You're hiding, that's what you're doing. Where are you? Goddamn gas giants and their desire to just... Oh, there you go. Hang out miles away from anything else. Yeah, no, there was this, like, you know, back in the 90s on PC, there was this just bug bug glitch, whatever, and it just basically enabled you to make your ship bigger than it was. You could turn it into a TARDIS, essentially. So you'd have like a little 30-ton ship that was small and nimble, but you were able to put on the... Uh-oh, what's my OBS being crazy? OBS reconnection successful. God. Why did you disconnect in the first place? That's the question. I mean, in that game I made a ship so strong I was able to fly through stars. Like, literally through them. White dwarfs were far less terrifying back in those days. However, they had this great mechanic in Frontier Elite 2 that I'm very glad that isn't in this game. It was kind of a core mechanic, but it's one that wouldn't really work in this game. And that was, every time you did a jump like this, you had like a 0.01% chance that your frameshift drive would malfunction. And what would happen is you would jump and you would arrive somewhere in the galaxy. Not where you aimed, just somewhere. You might be in a populated system, but you're going to be way out on it. You'd be like Proxima Centauri distance from the star or something. You'll be crazy far out, or you'll just be in an arbitrary point in space where you're unable to get back home if you don't have a fuel scoop, or if you're unable to repair your frameshift drive. Imagine that. Imagine you, you're just in the middle of a CG or something, and you jump to the next system, and then you just end up like by Sagittarius A or something. Do you know what I mean? Just like, oh fuck, things just went very, very wrong. It's basically a game over a lot of the time. It was just you could have a really unlucky game over, essentially.
System scan complete.
You have to restart from Mars or Tau Ceti. Not a good mechanic, no. A fine mechanic for a single player game where, you could, I don't know if you, I think you did, I think it was a restart, to be fair. I think you did lose everything if you did the restart. But yeah, just a mechanic where you could just randomly get a game over. The one thing they did really well was the anti-piracy measure. I really liked that. When you bought the game, it came with a handbook, explaining how to play the game and explaining various mechanics and things like that. And periodically, when you would arrive at a space station, you would get a security check, and they would be like, could you tell us the 7th letter on the 12th page, or like, it'd be like page, line, and number. So you'd be like the 12th letter on the 4th line of the 26th page of the handbook. And if you weren't able to provide that letter, you couldn't continue the game. You got locked out of the game. Which was great for stopping piracy, but what it didn't help was people like me who bought the game second hand. And it didn't have the manual. However, my older brother, he previously owned the game and he managed to dig out his manual for me. One and two. That's not going to affect me too much there.
Scan complete.
Oh, nice. paying attention, and I'm just approaching this place really slowly. I love that 07 is so intrinsically embedded in this game as a greeting and a reminder. The 7-second rule. Let's keep it on 07. Good to go. Though I am more of a believer in it being a bit more than 7 when approaching a planet, if I'm honest. Space station's obviously 7-second rule, but especially if you're coming in for a landing, oof, 7 seconds can be a bit rough, depending on the planet.
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
So yeah, I'm not sure how much, like I said, I'm not sure how much we'll make from this trip. Definitely enough to make elite, easily, from where we are. And thus get access to Shinrarta Dezhra. But I really don't know how much beyond that. Like I said, I suspect I'll have enough to buy an Anaconda, but I don't think I'll have anywhere near enough to A-rate it. It's quite the investment.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Huh. Especially being 40 or nearly 50 light years away, it's quite weird to see, to go from one star to another that are so close in name. UTOTS YE-R D4-13 and 16. Because all around me is, there's no other YERs. That is weird. You would expect 13, 14, whatever to be closer together, maybe? I don't know.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's like having two £5 notes, dollar bills, whatever, that are not consecutive but are only like 3 numbers out,
3, 2,
which would be weirder. Because, you know, consecutive, that could just be straight out of a bank machine, that's fine, but 2 that are a couple apart, that would be a little rarer. Long-range rescue ship, fair enough. Oh, like, if we're going to talk about a ship specialised for exploration, it's the Explorker, man. I loved my Explorker. And obviously you have the added boost, that you have the added bonus that every time you hit boost it goes ding. Oh, I love that ship. I might buy one of those instead, I don't know. Love me a dolphin. Orca, rather. And Blair. Not even going to waste my time scanning that nonsense. Gas and ice. It's got like 25 bodies. It's maybe 10 or 15 grand for that system. Moving on. The craziest thing I did in this game was I took my fully loaded, and I mean fully loaded for like combat. I even took my fighter with me. Basically, I looked at how much it would cost to transport my Federal Corvette to Colonia, and it was like billions, like plural. Like, it was such an insane amount of money. I was like, no. I'm like, I'll just take it there. I'll fly it there. So I did. But I didn't go directly to Colonia. I went like down here, and then I went round this arm and just stayed on the inside all the way around to Colonia that way. Funny enough, when I got there I made enough money to pay to transport my ship. But I had like a 30, maybe 35 or 32, something like that. Less than 35 jump range, and I went on that journey in my Corvette with like vehicles like SRVs, all my shields, all my weapons. And like, with the amount it costs to I don't know if it's the same deal now, if it's the same, but it was always just like the distance made a massive impact, and to transport a ship to Colonia was just exorbitant, just insane money. So, you know. Like, I genuinely had my fighter hangar in there as well, for no reason other than I was so far out in the black. Occasionally I wanted to just have a little fly around in a nimble ship. Do you know what I mean? Just let off some steam, just fly around an asteroid belt in a little fighter or something, just do something other than this. That's the problem with long range exploration, is it can get, it can get monotonous. You can go kind of like space crazy, because you're not doing any combat, you're not visiting any stations, you're not doing anything other than jumping from one system to the next, one system to the next. So I have decided if I ever do another long range exploration trip, it's going to be in a carrier. I'm going to buy a carrier and do it in that, and take my various ships with me, so I can be like, okay, we've done a few jumps, I need to mine some tritium, I can have a mining day and do that. Or I can fly down to a planet on one of my more nimble ships and have a drive around, or do a bit of canyon racing in my canyon running in my Eagle. Just have a range of things to do rather than just be stuck in one ship travelling such a long way. I do love exploration in this game. My bread and butter is finding Earth-like worlds and bookmarking them and having my name on them. First discovered, first mapped, I love that. So, ooh, let's do the old school test. It's definitely a water world. 100% it's a water world. Just trying to ascertain if it's an Earth-like or not. No, that's a water world. 100% that is a water world. Okay. I love the fact that the old school methods do still work. You don't need them, obviously, because you've got an FSS. Oh, there's a planet the other side of the star. God damn it. Knew I should have gone out further. Oh, you're not telling me it's the water world that's the other side of the star. Oh.
System scan complete.
It's not all. That's not all the people doing their fleet carriers. Did they fix the slavery problem? I remember reading about that a couple of years ago now, where people would like offer lifts in their fleet carriers, and then take someone to a system that would be, let's just say, exceeding the jump range to the next system of majority of ships, and then just be like, oh, do you want to go home? You better start mining some tritium for me then. Oh, you don't have a mining laser? You can buy it from my ship carrier. That there was a genuine thing, like people were genuinely being made, like real life people were being made into elite slaves. Like the only thing they reset their save. There were rescue trips. There was a rescue trip, like a bunch of players went out to rescue these people who'd been essentially abducted in game, and then be like, well, if you want to play elite, you're gonna need to mine tritium and sell it to me. And they were stuck there. There would be no, like, can I destroy their ship or mine? I mean, very creative. Like, playing the game, like role playing that game hard. Like, damn. We've had people role play as pirates. I don't mind getting interdicted and being role played, like pirate role play. That's fine. Gankers, I've been ganked a few times. I hate that.
Surface scan by 50%.
I'm not a PvP person.
Surface scan complete.
Definitely not in this game.
Frameshift drive charging.
That's definitely not my jam. I never got into this game for the PvP. I got into this game for the galaxy. I really enjoy the PvE combat. I know obviously it's easy, but I do enjoy it. Making money that way, sitting in a Hazres for hours, just killing everything. Makes my monkey brain happy. I enjoy the mining, I enjoy exploration. I love driving around on a planet in my SOV, especially if it's a low G planet, where my wheels spend about 5% of the time actually touching the ground. That's the other thing, like the PC version, I genuinely don't know how much interest I have in Odyssey, for example. Space, being able to get out and wander around. It'd be cool and all, but it's not why I play Elite. I genuinely just looked at those, didn't I? Yeah.
Frameshift drive charging.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I've only ever been PvP'd like 3 or 4 times in No Man's Sky, and every single time it was in an expedition, because they default PvP to on when you start an expedition. And you forget, and you get started, and someone just starts shooting you, and you're like, okay, PvP off. Multiplayer off. Though, to be fair, with expeditions, I genuinely do just turn multiplayer off because of all the communication balls and people building shit in the way. That's the thing. I mean, it's just... Admittedly, there are now essentially 2 games that I would get a PC for, rather than just one. It was always just one, but Slay the Spire 2 exists now, so, yeah. I just don't know. I just don't think I can justify the cost of a... Like I say, I mean, I've said this before, if I play, I know that, you know, you don't need a particularly powerful PC to play Elite necessarily, but if I'm going to play Elite on the PC, I'm going to want to play it to at the very least the same quality that I'm playing it on here, which means I'm going to need a pretty decent PC to get the most out of the game. Not necessarily the absolute most out of the game, but I'm going to want to play it to, you know, I don't have any problems. This is a very smooth and fluid and, you know, 60 FPS. I've got good quality on a PS5 Pro. I know it's not optimized for PS5, but obviously PS5 is more powerful than a PS4, it being a PS4 game. Oh, I forgot to look at that system I was in, didn't I? Oh, well, that is right. They just look so oddly placed. I'm like, it almost looked like there were some planets missing. Almost looked like there should be like a planet here, another one here. It's weird. So those two are rotating around each other and that's orbiting both of them. They're orbiting around each other and that's orbiting both of them. And that, yeah, okay, weird system.
Frameshift drive charging.
3, 2. No, there weren't planets missing. There were 11 bodies, 3 stars, 8 planets. It includes stars in bodies. 4 bodies, 2 stars, 2 planets. Like so. That last system was 11. There were the 2 sets of 3 planets, the 2 individual planets, and 3 stars. That's 11.
Frameshift drive charging.
2,700 hours in this game, and exploration is absolutely my jam. I can generally tell, like, the information I can pick up immediately. I'll know if someone's been in there, and I'll know also immediately if someone has been in there, whether they've been there before or after the exploration patch of years ago. I'm able to recognise whether a planet is an Earth-like or a water world just by listening to the system map. Okay. I have to look into something, I don't know. So like looking at that, I can see there are a couple of high metal content worlds, but they're also very small, which drastically reduces the chances that we're terraformable. Not impossible, but very low chance. And if it ain't terraformable, it's really not worth mapping. I mean, it can be worth some decent money for mapping like 150 grand, but it's not the 2 million for a terraformable. Or 1 if you're not the first discover. And as we're, yeah, I mean, we're definitely, the chances of me finding an unexplored system now are slim to non-existent. Did you map that because it's terraformable? It's not you. It's you. No, okay.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two.
The thing is also, I mean, it's expensive. I literally, just a couple of months ago, my PlayStation 5 had a frankly bizarre accident and is out of commission, so I had to buy a new one. I decided to upgrade and get a PS5 Pro. That's 700 quid. I mean, ooh. High metal content. High metal content. Oh, looking good, Barnard's Loop. Oh, we're like beside Barnard's Loop. Look at that. We're like above it. That's crazy. Yeah, we're like right above it. We were facing it from that way, but the horse had nebula in front of it. It didn't. I got very annoyed. I decided that I'm taking a little break until I can face going in and just grinding some levels. I might even just go master all the goddamn jobs or something. I don't know. I just got very, very frustrated. I'm getting very annoyed with the constant having to change jobs around just to do a fight. It's starting to really get to me, and I don't want this game to go the way of 4, so I'm going to need to just kind of log on one evening, go down to that basement, learn a bunch of jobs, and get a bit more levels. Yeah, I knew you weren't an Earth-like. Telling me lies. You might be terraformable though, let's have a look. So it's like before this goes with a way of 4, I need to just do a bit of grinding, level up a bit more, master a couple more jobs, make sure that more people have various options. If I get all the job mastering I want to do, then I can just make them all bloody freelancers, and then they can have you know, whatever abilities I want them. I'm just switching out abilities rather than changing jobs every 5 minutes. Yeah. And it doesn't it doesn't look like I've got much left to do on that world, and I don't know if I'm going to have access to those areas later. So it's like, if I want to be able to do that, I want to be able to take the hit. It's getting absurd having people just getting one hit killed repeatedly. People need a bit more dexterity. I need to be moving faster. So next time I'm on, it might be a couple of days, I don't know, I'm going to have to log on and just grind a bit. But the party might look a little bit different next time I play on stream. A bit stronger, a bit more specialised, a bit more ready. This is the thing, that what I like about Final Fantasy, which this game is not offering me, is I like to build a party that is capable of whatever the game throws at me, and I can't do that. I keep having to change things. It's one thing changing gear, like, oh, give myself some fire resistance or something like that, or changing weapons, but changing jobs repeatedly, it's getting really starting to wind me up. So yeah, be a couple of days. At some point I'll log on and just grind 10 or 15 levels and
Surface scan by 50%.
get a bunch of jobs learned. Well, yeah, like Bard, for example. What have I done with Bard? Absolutely nothing. Well, that's a scary jump. Not scary jump. Oh, here we are, heading into the Inner Orion Spur. We're in our home region. I don't want to cheese. I mean, I admittedly, I want to make myself stronger so I don't have to cheese, essentially. How much health does he have? Do you know, offhand? Just so I know what I'm kind of aiming for. Damage output. Trying to get that planet away from the star. In my rear view, it's not working. No, there isn't an Earth-like world here, you're lying. There we go. So 3k, okay.
System scan complete.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know that. That wasn't the problem, really. I mean, yeah, occasionally it happened where he counted everyone. The problem was the fact that in between that, whilst everyone's ATB charges are filling up, he has like 2 or 3 turns. Which blows. Because, you know, sometimes he'd hit for like 1,000 damage or something. Just like, well, okay, I guess they're dead. And I've always said this in any game I'm playing. You know, many games I've brought up this point. If you're in a death loop, if you're in a someone's died, you revive them before you can heal them, they die, or the healer dies, or someone else dies, and you spend more time trying to keep your party alive than you do actually inflicting damage, then you are not strong enough to fight that enemy. It's that simple. Go away, get a few levels, come back when you're a bit stronger. I'm not saying that the fights are impossible, I'm just saying that, you know, you're under leveled. Sure, there may be ways to cheese it and things like that, but I'd rather beat enemies because I'm strong enough to beat them rather than I know the strategy to get an easy win. Does that make sense? Damn, they're all clustered all around that star, aren't they? We're getting much closer to the point where we're going to start just scan, scoop, move on. It is a fantastic game. It really is. The argument, and it's a very, very strong argument, the argument can be made that Final Fantasy VI has the all-time greatest Final Fantasy villain. Cool. Nice and colourful rings. Yeah, a really strong case can be made that he's the best villain in the franchise. Okay, so it's somewhere. There you are.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of 4, as we know, but no, 6 is genuinely a very, very good game. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the same piece of advice that I was given. When you get the option, and I'm not going to specify anywhere or anything like that, but there is a time in the game where you have the option to wait. When you have the chance to wait, wait. That's all I'm going to say. Just vitally important. There is a point in the game where you like are in a hurry and you need to leave, but you have the chance to wait. Do it. That's all I'm going to say about 6. Anyone who's played 6 knows exactly what I mean, but when it comes time to wait, fucking wait. Yes. Yes. You'll see why. When you play the game, you will understand why. You might not necessarily think much of him at first, but as the game progresses, you'll be like, oh, damn. Okay, yeah, I see what he was on about. He is the gold standard of Final Fantasy villains. I personally prefer Ardyn from 15, but that's a personal preference. But, you know, when people would list their all-time greatest Final Fantasy villains, it's probably going to come down to Sephiroth, Ardyn, the one from 6. I'm going to say his name. You'll meet him soon enough. And genuinely, just because of your name, you will love him.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
And you have some truly good characters. There are, like, brace yourself, there are 14 party members that you acquire throughout the game. There's no job system because you have one of every job eventually. But that's, I prefer that because, you know, it's like, oh, I don't have to rebuild my characters, I just have to change my party. Easy. Most hated is chaos. No. Let's see. 6, 7, 8. Seymour was a bit of a dick in 10. 12.
Frameshift drive charging.
12 was solid. Judges. I mean, 16. 16's a weird one. In some ways he's one of the best, in some ways he's one of the worst. Like, he's kind of bland in some ways, like, to look at. He's not, like, big and awe-inspiring like a lot of villains in various ways. But in other ways he's also a really, really good villain. Yeah, kind of hard to find that one. Maybe Chaos, I don't know.
Frameshift drive charging.
The thing is also, you've got to bear in mind, like, especially in the earlier games, like, no matter how difficult the villain is, on a successful fight, it's 5, maybe 10 minutes tops. Whereas in later games, you have, like, multi-stage fights, different areas, arenas. Crazy shit happening. Like Sephiroth and his fucking 3.5 hour long attack. Nine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay.
Frameshift drive
Yeah, I love a lot of the characters in 6. And your main character that you start off with is badass. Probably the most badass of the protagonists in the franchise thus far. Yeah, I've got a lot of love for 6.
Frameshift drive charging.
We're getting closer to the point where it's not going to say anarchy. It's going to say like low security, or yeah, probably going to get low security first. Though doing up to 50 light year jumps, I could just go straight into a heavily populated system. Who knows? We're almost home. I think. I don't know. I haven't looked how many jumps we've got for a minute.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Huh? Where the fuck am I? Permit locked. Requires unknown permit. I'm flying through permit locked space. Interesting. What it's like. I was expected to be so. The first 5 parts. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. He's a good lad. It's at this point though that we're really starting to, you know, from 5 onwards, we're really starting to step up with each game.
Frameshift drive charging.
You know. So, like we're hitting the quote unquote golden age of Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, 11 was a multiplayer game. 12, I would put 12 as a top 3 for me. It's 8, 15 and 12. Those are my favourites, and you could probably interchange those depending on which one I'm playing at the time. Ooh. We definitely have water. There is another sound. That might be an Earth-like. Yeah, no, it's a water world. It's not an Earth-like. Oh, Jesus, meanwhile, I'm long gone. Yeah, water world. Oh. Yeah, definitely a water world. I'm going to vote for a terraformable. Terraformable. God, I really struggle with that word. Terraform, fine. Terraformable. It's the ormable. Not terraformable, but still worth like $1,000,000 or whatever to scan. 900 grand, something like that, I don't know. I think 6 is the first, maybe it's the I might be wrong on this, but it might be the first one where you can assign summons to different people. Maybe not. I can't remember actually. So obviously you can do that in 7 with materia and 8 with junctioning and 10 with sphere grid and 12 with license grid. Oh, ouch! Yeah, it's a hard entry point. Mine was 8. That's what made me fall in love with the franchise. God, I adore that game. But yeah, I'm gonna spend a few hours grinding towards living out a power fantasy in Final Fantasy V. Gonna be heroes, goddammit. Tactics Advance. Damn. I did play Final Fantasy Tactics on the PS1. It's not an easy game. Yeah, I struggled with it. I had Type 0, I think I owned Type 0 as well. Shit, how many Final Fantasy games do I have in my game library? Well, I'll let you get your surface.
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Trying to think how many I own. King's Tower, Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, 9, Type 0, 5, 6, 7, 7 Rebirth, 7 Remake, 8. I don't own 10, 10, 2. 14, 15, Pocket Edition, 16, Zodiac Age, World of Final Fantasy, Strangers of Paradise, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 22, 21 Final Fantasy games I own in my library. Have a good night, Pete. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciated. I hope you have a good weekend, or rest of your weekend. Another one I have a lot of love for is World of Final Fantasy. I've mentioned it before. But it is, you'll get the most out of it if you've played all of the other mainline Final Fantasies first. You'll still, you still get a lot out of the game, but there'll be a couple of characters who show up and you'll be like, well, who the fuck are you? Whereas other people would be like, oh my god, yay! But like Bartz is in there and Boko, Gilgamesh. It's actually one of the main side plots is the whole Bartz and Gilgamesh thing in World of Final Fantasy. And you visit lots of you visit lots of locations from across the games. You go to Nibelheim from Final Fantasy VII, you go to the Desert Prison from Final Fantasy VIII, and to Balam Garden. Hell, you can even fight X-Death at one point. He's hard, Jesus Christ, in that game. So my buddy downloaded a game that's free in PlayStation Store at the moment, and he share played it with us earlier to see if he could get us interested in playing it with him, and we did download it and we are going to play it. So maybe tomorrow or maybe Monday with my buddies, I'm going to be playing my very first gacha game, Wuthering Waves. I won't be streaming that, we'll just be playing it on our own time, just the three of us. But it looks fun, decent combat, a nice looking world. Not something I've ever really done before, but the combat looked pretty entertaining. Kind of like a cross between Final Fantasy 15 and 16, which was interesting. A dabble of Dragon Age in there. Yeah, it won the People's Choice Award at the Game Awards, and most of the people in the audience were like, huh? Because it's got a massive Asian following, and I guess they voted en masse. Fair enough.
scooping complete.
Okay, it's like 4:30. I've got 20 jumps left. I think we're just gonna.
Frameshift drive charging.
Ooh, that means I'm still full scooping. Oops.
Frameshift drive charging.
And we're gonna kind of beeline our way there now from this point on. Everything's gonna be explored, so we'll just jump, scoop, discovery scan, move on. If we're seeing Earth like world or a water world, we'll probably go scan that, but beyond that, ah. AM. Still got 20 jumps to go. Speed things up a touch.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, something about that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're never going to be spending money on it. Do you know what I mean?
4, 3, 2.
The game's free, PlayStation Plus, so if we find ourselves soft locked because you need to spend money to progress something later in the game, then, you know, so be it. Nothing lost. We were just laughing at some of the stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, we quite enjoyed the look of the combat and all that kind of stuff, but the dialogue translations were a bit meh, and we were just laughing at the. It wasn't over the top, but let's just say that there were definitely jiggle physics going on in that game. It's not like excessive in your face, but it's noticeable. Oh, god damn it. Oh, there's like 2 of them. One around each star, I think. You're not telling me there's there's 3 water worlds in this system? Fucking hell, okay. Guess we're going to be here a couple of minutes longer than I expected.
System scan complete.
Oh, 22,000, and they're terraformable. One, 2 and 3 over there. 2, 3 over here. Yeah, okay. I guess we're scanning all those because that's a lot of 5 value targets. Obviously, there's no first discovery bonus on it, but there's still some decent money on these. So yeah, we're safe. We're this journey, which is coming to an end and has been going on all week. Bear in mind. I want to finish this journey tonight, and we're going to. I'm going to get that first elite status and then buy a very big ship. Closer or further? You're... I can't tell. You must be further. You must be further. There we go, yeah. It's really weird. That planet in the centre, a ring around it, and then a planet on that ring, you genuinely can't tell which is closer until the perspective kind of becomes clear. Man, 5 terraformable worlds in this planet and system, and 3 of them are water worlds. That is crazy. The person who first discovered all of this, damn, he made some money out of this system. I'll get like half of it, but this is still going to make me like 5 or 6 million out of this system. Wuthering waves. Hang on a minute.
Surface scan
Oh,
at 50%.
god damn. I just closed my...
Surface scan complete.
window. Hang on, bear with me. No, not that. Oh, God. Right, that's that. There it is, okay. Right. Let's just get some totals here. Yeah. So for this system, we would get 3, and we'd get like 4.5 million for this system. Yeah, like these water worlds would be like 1.1 million each. They're 3.2 million if you get first discovery as well. Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. 2, 3, 2, 3. Are these both terraformable as well? Yeah, they are. It's crazy. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's right. Alright, a few minutes in this system then, because it's an extra 4 million to the total. Flying in between these. Yeah, it's not like aggressively in your face with the... Nah, that's fair. That's what I mean. It's a game we can play in co-op, and it's got combat that we can do in co-op, and it's the kind of combat that I think we can enjoy. Special moves, and it's got a fluidity about. I really enjoy very, very fluid combat, and it did seem, watching my buddy play earlier, it does seem very, very fluid. The best example of that it would be Final Fantasy 15. I really enjoyed the fluidity of the Final Fantasy 15 combat. You can just kind of weave, dodge and counter and stuff your way through the fights, and yeah, And if it's something the three of us can do together and we can laugh about it whilst we're playing, perfect, you know. We may look into grounded as well. We did look at that. Resident Evil. Mute myself in a minute whilst I'm just eating a cereal bar and a yogurt. Again, quick snack whilst I'm playing, getting a bit hungry but don't want to stop just yet. Because, yeah, 19 jumps. And as we get into civilized space, we're not going to be doing any of this scanning stuff. This is just for... That's
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete.
sorry, that's just quite a cool picture with that, with Barnard's Loop behind it. And now we're going to go on a little bit of a journey. Looking forward on my roguelite stream to playing Ball Pit again tomorrow night because, later tonight I guess. I've made some serious progress since that last stream. Played like 3 or 4 rounds of that in the first stream, and since then I've been playing it most nights for like an hour. I've made some significant progress. See a star going by. Planets. Sleeve my riftbound tag. I understand what all of the words mean. I don't know what the sentence means. What do you mean? Wait, hang on, let me think. Like some kind of card collecting, like Pokemon or whatever, then you need to put them in those little protectors? Or am I just guessing? Magic cards or Pokemon cards or... Fair enough. Okay. I've not heard of Riftbound. I don't have any collections like that, so I just had to just kind of assume, figure out, whatever, deduct that that's what you were talking about. Hang on, I will be right back, and I don't want to do that whilst barreling towards this place at the speed I am. I'll be back in just a sec. Ah, yeah, fair enough. It's a Pokemon. Yeah, I'm going to mute for a few minutes whilst I eat. We'll carry on playing, but I'm just going to be muted. You have not lived until you have played Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII. It is the ultimate game, card game, mini game within a video game. And bear in mind, I love Gwent. Witcher 3 for me was just how quickly can I buy my next set of Gwent cards? Where's the person I can play, and where can I buy more Gwent cards? Cool, the story was great, but it was all about the Gwent. However, I will say this, personally, Triple Triad is a better card game. It's just my opinion. Oh, you will see, because when I get to Final Fantasy VIII, I will tell you now, we're going to play an absolute fuck ton of Triple Triad. It's going to be crazy. Hours, hours and hours of playing Triple Triads. I won't do that all on stream. There'll be plenty of times where I'm just watching TV and I'm just playing Triple Triad in the background, off stream or whatever. But yeah, Triple Triad is... If you're good at Triple Triad, you can break Final Fantasy hilariously. Like, in some ways more than you can with Clair Obscur. Triple Triad is king. Anyway, I'm going to eat. Also, Queen's Blood in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Very, very good. Surprising. Anyway, yeah, food.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete.
There we go. Some food in my belly. What, 15, 16, 17 jumps. Once we get to 10 jumps, we'll definitely just be honk, scoop, jump, repeat. We won't be doing any of this. Nice.
Surface scan by 50%. Surface scan complete.
We're into Hipland.
Frameshift drive charging.
Orange giant. Okay, she's going to be big. you know, big, but not like insane. Of course, there's water worlds here.
System scan complete.
Oh, 5 a.m. Do you know what? We're just gonna we're moving. I want to get back to the bubble. I get Shinrarta Dezhra unlocked. So the reason I want to move to this particular space system, you need to have an elite status to access the place, but it's got a space station that sells every single module in the game. Every ship, every module, it's all there. And at a discount as well. Get a little bit of a discount for elite.
Fuse code disengaged.
Oh yeah, 10%. Discount on everything. Oh yeah, we're looking to see if we need to FSS at least. There's a lot going on there.
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
signal source.
Scan complete. Fuel scoping.
Really are getting close to the bubble. We have signal sources.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'd say within 5 jumps we'll have that where it doesn't say anarchy at the top. We'll hit a populated system within 5 jumps, I would think. Now that we get signal sources.
Fuel scoping.
Yeah, at this point we just jog on.
Fuel scoping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
White star. Starting to see the hips, which are generally larger stars that are in and around the bubble. Like this one, hip 28969 or whatever it was, you could probably Google that and it's a real star. Yeah, no, I mean, they put up more of a fight than Aston Villa did, do you know what I mean? That was the talking point on the Aston Villa subreddit today. It's like, fair play to Wrexham, at least they tried. At least they actually seemed like they wanted to win the game.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, I don't know how it is in other countries, but so over here, if you win the Premier League and the FA Cup, that's called winning the double. If you win like an FA Cup and a Champions League, or the Premier League and the Champions League, that's a double, but the double is FA Cup and Premier League. If you win FA Cup, Premier League and a European competition, that's a treble. If you win the Carabao Cup as well, that's a quadruple, which Man United, a few teams over the years have done. Arsenal, Man United, Man City. Big system. Curiosity. No, they're not. Okay. It kind of almost looked like they were close enough that the exclusion zone of one would be affecting the other, but that was not the case. FA Champions and Premier. Yeah, Man City have done that a couple of times. Man United. Pretty sure Arsenal have done that in the past, not recently. Liverpool done it, I think. Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool. If anyone has, they have. I know at least a couple of them have. Google it. Can't be bothered. Line jumps.
Fuel scooping complete.
Oh, that's a cool looking planet. Molten. Surface temperature of ouch.
Frameshift drive charging.
Let's see. No. Domestic troubles.
Disengaged.
Oh. Okay. UEFA. Manchester United won Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League in 98-99. 2022-23, Man City did it. That's it. That is it. Oh, and Manchester City have done a domestic treble, which is Premier League, FA Cup and Carabao Cup or EFL Cup. But yeah, that's it. Both teams from Manchester. Yeah, and Manchester City. So Manchester United, they get their Sky 6 status because of, you know, dominating the Premier League through the 90s and becoming the biggest team in the world, essentially, you know. That's why they have had an awful season last season, but still are able to just completely rebuild. And then Man City were mediocrity. Do you know what I mean? They were middle of the Premier League, sometimes in the Championship, back up to the Premier League. They weren't ever. They were like a Brighton or a Bournemouth or a Villa of the past, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? They weren't. They would finish like 11th or 10th or 8th or something like that. They didn't win anything, and then they got bought out for obscene amounts of money by some extremely wealthy Middle Eastern state, and they just, before all these PSR rules come in, they just pumped obscene amounts of money into the club. Like, they, for 3 years now, they're facing like 115 charges from the FA. There's a chance that when this all goes through, Manchester City might just get relegated and maybe have a title or two stripped from them. But you know, their lawyers are constantly fighting it, and it's been going on for like 3 years now. They've won the Premier League during this, and it's just like, come on, man. Whereas like Everton were found to breach some rules, and they got like deducted points like a couple of weeks later. Do you know what I mean? But Manchester City, you know, big club, lots of money, lots of lawyers. They're holding it off for as long as they can.
Scooping complete.
Yeah, we're just a few jumps away. This could be... no, still anarchy. I mean, you think that's bad, you know, Manchester United and Manchester City. Out of London, we have Arsenal, Brentford, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Fulham and West Ham. That's just the Premier League teams. Watford, Millwall, Queen's Park Rangers, Championship. And then Wimbledon, Barnet, Bromley, Dagenham and Redbridge, Wealdstone, Sutton United. There's loads. Leyton Orient, Charlton Athletic, Queen's Park Rangers. Yeah, there's a lot of London teams. Oh, here we go. Civilised space. Well, do you know what? We'll land here and we'll get the elite status. We'll do that right here. And then we can just go straight to Shinrarta Dezhra. Just so we can land and fix my hull and, you know. We have space station that's fucking miles away. Okay. A space station. It's the first one we've seen all week. Ships. Yeah, it's just the nature of things. You know, Birmingham, from Birmingham proper, like the actual city itself, you've got, you know, Birmingham City and Aston Villa. I can't believe I listed Birmingham City before Aston Villa. Hang on a minute. Slap myself. Aston Villa and Birmingham Shitty. Fuck me. I think I just committed a fucking hate crime. Then you got like West Bromwich Albion, Wolverhampton Wanderers. They're local to Birmingham. They would consider each other more rivals than Villa. Oh, I can scan a ship. Data. Not actually getting any data out of these guys. Oh, I see. You're going to be the complete arse side of the planet. God damn it. I mean, it's a gorgeous game. What am I doing? I doubted myself. I forgot I'm heading towards the space station. I'm like, oh, I'm getting close, and I dropped the throttle like I have done for all these planets that I've been scanning. Nope, we're not dropping throttle. We are dropping out of Super Cruise. Let's put that on, see if there's any ships about. There are not. So we're not going to turn in all the exploration data right now, though I could do. But I want to get the elite status, and then I want to turn the rest in at the space station that we're going to be moving into, so I can get a probably allied status with them. Let's play it safe, make sure we're in the speed limit. Let's not have anything go wrong when I have millions and millions and millions of exploration data on me.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, feels good. Okay, so we're going to turn in 100 million. There will be, goddamn, there will be pages of this. Well, there's 19.4 million.
Incoming message. So 35, 45. Oh, that's a thought. Wow, okay. Alright, man. You have a good evening. Have fun. Yeah, I'm not going to be much longer on here.
just exit and then go back in again. Let that all update. I think the elite status comes through like immediately. Here it comes.
Incoming message.
There it is. That's the message we've been waiting for. Hang on. Sometimes you've got to relog to update everything. Boom. Shinrarta Dezhra. 4 jumps. Let's go.
Shipment disengaged from London now you can pass safely from the station.
Whoa, 9251B.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, excuse me. I was saying, cool. This is more than 25 light years from Shinrarta Dezhra, so I can turn in all of my exploration data here, even this place. My new home. See, why are those guys here? He's here because he's elite. He's allowed to be here. The other guys, novice, expert, get out. Founders World and Jameson Memorial. So this is where the Pilots Federation set up shop. Home sweet home.
Thank you for choosing our station, Commander. We hope you find everything to your liking. Access granted. Cleared for landing on pad 1-5.
Just doing that so I can get a better, clearer idea of where those ships are. And also, if there's a system that I'm going to see other players, this is the system where I'm going to see other players. Obviously, only for players who have an elite status, but it's not easy, not difficult to get an exploration elite or trading elite.
Scan detected.
So we'll come in, turn in the rest of my exploration data. First with all the ships.
Landing gear deployed.
Hoping they're not too. I don't know how far away this is from where my ships are.
Docking complete. Prime crew dispatched.
First things first, look at the shipyard. Order over my... That's 35 minutes, okay, well. Let's turn in the rest of this and see how much money we have. Don't know how many pages it'll be. I really don't. This might be the last page. There might be another 10 pages. I really don't know.
Incoming message.
34.5 million page. Man, there's a big one in there. That page might have my biggest payout. It was 11 point something million. Was my biggest payout. It's another 36 million. Oh, Hega BFR, 11.6 million. Okay, that looks like the last page. Yeah, okay. So we made 226 million out of that. Now, the ship we're saving up for, so we've got all the ships here. Look through, Eagle, Hauler, Adder, very legal, which we own. Used to own one of those. Alliance Chieftain. Need to get a higher rank for that. Alliance Crusader. Imperial Clipper. Alliance Challenger. Gunship. Great Phantom. Great Mark II, which we own. Orca, which we're going to be buying at some point because I love that ship. Ferdinand, nice combat ship. Mamba, a fast combat ship. Python. Type 9 Heavy. Beluga. Type 10. Anaconda, which is the ship we're going to be buying. Now the thing is, to A-rate this is going to be a ship we're going to be working on periodically. Let's put it that way. Because first and foremost, for example, I'm going to want a power plant. And unfortunately an AA power plant is 102 million bucks, which we're going to have to buy. So we've got that in there. Obviously we're looking at these and there. I'm going to want one of those. That's 116 million. And then obviously the thrusters, they're another 45 million. And then a frame shift drive, that's going to be another. Okay, we can put that in there. Life support, we go D. Power distributor, shouldn't be too crazy. Sensors, we go D. Okay, so we still need to do, so it's like 100 and, how much for you? You're another 45, so we don't want to spend too much money at the moment. Hard points, obviously it's got a huge, 3 large, 2 medium, couple of pulse lasers. Oh, that's a thought. Optional tunnel. So we're going to be building this as a $45 million. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to slow down now. Conscious of how much this is costing. I could just prospect with one, actually. Nah, you need to be prospecting with more than one. Don't want to be prospecting with 3. I have 4 active limpets. With a 1, 3 or 5, which is a bit annoying. I guess we'll do the 3. way, but okay, no more money being spent on that at the moment. Do I have any liveries for this? Do I have anything for it? I don't know. I might have some stuff unlocked already. Well, goddamn, I do indeed have some stuff unlocked. Oh yeah, the pulse colours. So I used to have a red anaconda. Orange. That's the usual that everyone got. There's no way. Wow, okay. I've even bought ship kits for this. You got a match, so I know it's you shooting. Okay, well, we're not going to be... in that ship for long. Okay, we're going to call it there for now. Obviously all my stuff is half an hour away. I'm not playing for another half an hour. We'll be back tomorrow where we're going to earn some more money and need to do some engineering on the Anaconda, obviously. But we own an Anaconda. We've got some of the more expensive stuff. I've still got to come up with another 150 million. But at the moment, I don't want to be flying around in a ship that's got such a high rebuy. Yeah. Out of interest, we'll just have a little look, see if there are people in open. No. There's no one at the moment. Okay. I'm going to call it there for now. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with some more. Bye for now.